guys.
Hi guys,
And
and welcome back to Couch Critics.
yes, hi guys. We're the Couch Critics, and today we're reviewing the movie Musica.
It's a movie by Rudy
Mancuso.
Mancuso.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, he's a social media star.
Yeah, he
Can we
started
call
on
him like
Vine.
this? Mhm.
I knew him from Vine in 2014, and then I
Same.
saw him transfer to YouTube,
Mhm.
and now he's making movies. And honestly, if that's not the American dream, like the modern day American dream, I don't know what is. But yeah, it's very inspiring. He's Brazilian and
Mhm.
Italian, and now he's making movies.
I totally agree when you say that it's the modern American dream, and I feel like anyone who says otherwise is a liar because who wouldn't want to be a social media influencer and
Yeah.
like just focus on that and like yeah.
Especially that it's clearly his purpose, and it's, from having watched his YouTube videos and now this
Mhm.
movie, and I know we're going to talk about it later, but you could see the influence of like his YouTube videos,
Yeah,
so in his movies. So I think that's it was very coherent, not just the movie altogether, but the movie with his personality and his
yeah,
life, because it is an autobiographical movie. It
movie.
talks about his own story.
Mhm.
So yeah.
So to sum it up, Musica is the story of Rudy Mancuso, and it's not his original story of how, like, where he was born or like, uh, which school he went to. It's his story with music and how, not even how he got into music, because when the movie starts, he's already so obsessed with music and he's already like showing his talent and everything, but how he got to the point of just like accepting his gift and trying to make something out of it. And yeah, it's a story about a small part of his life, but I think that it's the most important part of his life.
Yes.
And the movie starts his relatives. It stars one of, to me, it's the best character, his mom.
Yes. Yes.
And his best friend Anwar, he's a viner too, and Camila Mendes.
Camila Mendes. I was looking up a bit the history because I've been following them for a very long time,
Mm,
and I love both actors so much. And apparently they met on set. Rudy wanted her
yeah.
to play the character all along, but after that they actually ended up falling in love in real life, and they've been together since 2022. And I think it's so inspiring because that's my personal opinion, but I think they're one of the very few couples in Hollywood that really feels like their relationship feels really genuine.
Mm,
And it's not like they're not trying to sell their relationship to sell the movie. But they're kind of doing that naturally because they did get together because of the movie. So yeah, I don't know, I admire that so much. And
me too. And I have a question for you. I don't know if, like, how long have you been a fan of Rudy?
since 2014, I
Okay.
would wait for his YouTube videos, and it broke my heart when he started uploading less. But
Mm,
some of his YouTube videos I still go back to. He has because okay, I feel his YouTube videos are not YouTube videos. They're not short movies. They're
mm,
just a mix of both, and I love it. Two that I can't stop thinking about are The Circle of Love and Domino. And
okay.
Domino is one of my favorite YouTube videos ever. It's a 10-minute YouTube video, and it talks about his story. He
Mm,
created characters and everything, and it's well done, and the music is well done. And yeah, and then there's Circle of Love, which is basically, again, I don't know how to describe it, but it has a lot of sounds and instruments, and he used that kind of video. He used the songs in that video
for the
and
movie.
the scene for the movie. I don't know if you said there was a
Mm,
scene where he wakes up and brushes
yeah.
his teeth, and that was the same YouTube video. And seeing this on, well, big screens, now we say this, but like even the YouTube
Mm,
videos could be on the bigger screens, but seeing it in a movie, it had a nostalgic feels to it, especially that it's a YouTube video that he uploaded in
yeah.
2016 or 2017. So yeah.
I was wondering, because to me, like, Camila Mendes is the only person in the movie who doesn't play herself.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if she was playing Maya Mitchell's role.
Ooh, yeah. You know, that's the thing. I thought that Haley was Maya Mitchell and Camila Mendes was
That's what I
Camila
asked
Mendes,
myself too.
because I thought that she was playing herself at the beginning,
Yeah.
and then after seeing the interviews and realizing that they met for the movie, that
Hmm.
I was like, oh, so the character wasn't inspired by her.
Hmm.
But yeah, maybe it was it. Who Maya Mitchell was like a big question mark for me.
Yeah. And
But at the same
also,
time,
sorry to
No,
cut you
it's
off. I
okay.
don't think that he would have met Maya Mitchell at a fish store.
Or at Newark, New Jersey. That's yeah,
Exactly, because I think she has been a star for a long
yeah,
time, and also she's Australian,
yeah,
and I do agree with you when you say that they do look like Rudy and Camilla, they do look healthy together, and they definitely have so much chemistry in this movie, and yeah.
yeah. On screen, on social media,
Mhm.
as far as we know, anything else we cannot really judge. But yeah, when you were talking about when, yes, I want to know who Maya Mitchell was at the same time. But he said something about the sounds and the music
Mhm.
when he was talking about the behind the scenes. The sounds that they, when there was
Mhm.
instruments and music in the movie, some of them were live, like they were
Yeah.
the sounds you would hear them as they were shooting, and some of them were done behind the scenes. And Rudy said he didn't want the audience to know if it was like actually filmed and like the sound was there at the same time, or if it was done like in a studio and then they integrated it with the movie. And I think he did a bit the same thing with his love story. Like he
Mhm.
didn't want people to know what was true and what was like done, like fictional,
Edits.
reshaped,
Mhm.
edited,
Mhm.
exactly. And I think that's the beauty about movie making. Everybody who writes movies, I suppose, writes movies about themselves.
Yeah.
They tell a very personal story, but at the same time, they tweak it a little bit
Mhm.
so that it's a bit more anonymous, a bit more like to just
Yeah.
protect their privacy. And I think that's a very fine line to walk on, and it's very inspiring.
I totally agree. I feel like this movie is very innovative. I
Yeah,
have not seen anything like this before, and Rudy describes it as the anti-musical
yeah,
in the sense of everything. Like most of the sounds that you hear are recorded live, and that to me is mind-blowing because we have never seen something like this before, and it
yeah.
goes to show the immense talent of Rudy. And again, I want to go back to this word talent because at the same time, I don't know if it's just talent because I do think that he has a gift, and he did talk about it, about how the whole movie was about his condition, because it's a condition. It's
Hmm.
called uh let me
Synthesia.
look it up. Synesthesia,
Yeah,
and it's when your senses capture many things at once.
yeah,
I'm not sure, but this is what I understood.
yeah,
But yeah, so to me, like, it's this whole thing about talent versus gift,
yeah.
and I do think there is a huge mix of both because he did spend years and years and years practicing, and even like I watched this video, this interview of him and Camilla, and she was saying that he had made so many short movies before and
Yes.
so many videos, and so when it was time for him to be a first time director on a real set, nobody could tell that it was his first time because he was so natural at what he was doing. And yeah, it just yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted to say, and
Mhm.
that's the most inspiring thing about it. I think sometimes when people have a dream, they get hung up on the end result, but I think that this movie, in my opinion, was so beautiful, and for me, it
Yeah.
was a very successful movie because he had so many trainings before, and
Mhm.
like he's been telling his stories since Vine, since YouTube, since all of this, and this movie was like the next level of all of this, but
Mhm.
it doesn't but like all of his other YouTube videos were equally as
Yeah.
beautiful, they were equally as inspiring. And that's the beauty of it. Sometimes you don't need to have like a big company backing you up, producer
Yeah.
and everything to tell your story. Start with whatever you have, go with it, as long as you're being honest to your like message and
Mhm.
you're telling your story. And then when the right times comes to make a movie or whatever your end goal is, it's gonna happen naturally
It's
because you've
true.
been training for it for such a long time before.
And also, we talked earlier about how it is a dream to be a social media star nowadays, and
Yeah.
like I feel like everyone secretly aspires to do it,
Yeah.
like in different niches. But I feel like that makes us kind of lazy because when we go on any social media and we look up any social media star, and we see them like just making cute faces, and they have like too many likes and followers. It's frustrating because you have other people out there who are struggling and trying to do something and put it out to the world, and they're not getting any results. But when I look at someone like Rudy, like it just he's so inspiring in the sense of like it took him so many years to get where he got, and he could have chosen an easier route because he did have the connections. He was friends with Justin Bieber and like all these other celebrities, but he chose to focus on his craft and to perfect it and to work on it relentlessly during years and years and years. And when he was finally ready, he made a masterpiece. Because to me, it's definitely a masterpiece. This
Yes.
movie is amazing, brilliant, genius, and
I think that's the difference between wanting to be famous and wanting to tell a story.
mhm,
And I think that when you have a story to tell and you're working towards that rather than working towards reaching numbers, people find so much like more happiness and fulfillment than just, like getting the audience. And if along the way, while you're telling your story, while you're making all of these short movies, you end up like reaching a wider audience, then that's good. But I feel like as long as um, whatever artists, directors, actors are being honest to what
mhm,
they're trying to spread, they're doing like as long as they're doing what they're trying, like
mhm,
what's meaningful for them, it's gonna they're gonna have fulfillment. And
mhm.
yeah, I think that really shows with Rudy and all of his content because I have not seen any other YouTuber do the same thing yet. And I don't think like people, and even if people end up doing the same, he's always going to be like patient zero with all of this.
Yeah.
He's always going to
Mhm.
be the root of this. And it's great if he inspires other people to do the same thing, then, great. But still, anyway, he is a very
Talented.
talented, original artist, director, actor, and it really shows. Musician.
Yeah, and I also think that he's an amazing writer
Yes.
because this is like, okay, it's a musical-ish, and it's also to me a rom-com.
Yeah.
And honestly, I usually hate rom-coms because they're not funny and they're very obnoxious, and yeah, they're too cheesy for me. But this one had like so many funny scenes. Like all the cultural references with his mom were hilarious. The scenes, I feel like most of the jokes were about culture,
Yeah.
but they were so witty and so smart and so good.
Yes. Yes, I completely agree with that. And I think because he's definitely been
Mhm,
through this, it shows that I think that's the reason why it's so funny. It's
mhm.
because it's spoken from a very personal
Yeah,
experience. So, yeah, I love the cultural references. And it's funny because, yes, he's Brazilian, but it's something that everybody can relate to. I hear like people from my culture, like moms from my culture stressing their kids about ending
yeah,
up with someone from their culture as well because it's something that all cultures go through,
yeah.
especially when you're an immigrant in like a new country and especially in North America.
Mhm,
People try to like stay close to who they are because they left their home. They try to find it in other
mhm.
people, in places, in many things. So it's something that people can relate to even though they're not Brazilian, and I think that's the beauty of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And again, the scene with his mom were amazing. I'm thinking about the first scene when she brought him this Brazilian girl, and then she brings these cocktails, and she forgets the
Umbrellas.
umbrellas, and then she comes back and puts umbrellas on the cocktails. And there was this other scene where he was just randomly like in his room. Rudy was in his room, and he leans on the door, and she's leaning too on the other side of the door, listening to what he's doing. He's just chilling in his room.
That scene was incredible to me because they switched like the angle. They become
Yeah,
both horizontal, and I think that was a beautiful like echo to social media because they
yeah.
started on social media. They switched the angle to
Mhm,
portrait. But I started okay. I couldn't hold myself back when the movie came out. I started watching it in the morning when I woke up, and that was in the first 10 minutes. So I
mhm.
started watching it on my phone, and then I stopped. And I was like, no, I'm gonna watch it at night on my big screen. It's gonna be better.
Yeah.
But as I was watching it on my phone and I saw that scene. I was like, wait a minute. And then I turned my phone and I was like, that is genius because it felt like a
Mhm.
TikTok or like a reel.
Yeah.
And I just loved it so much. Um, yeah. Also, I had something. Oh, yeah. One thing I would
Mhm.
maybe not improve. Actually, the movie went by so fast and I enjoyed it so much that by the time Rudy and Camilla start being more familiar with each other and being
Yeah.
honest about their feelings, I was like, that's too fast. Like
Hmm.
the movie just started. How is he telling her that like he's very comfortable around her? And then I tried to see how long it's been, and it was already 30 minutes. And I was like, oh, maybe it's not that fast. Maybe I just was enjoying the movie so much that it felt very fast. But yeah, I think it's normal that their love story moved like was
Hmm.
fast paced because it was a movie. Like we
Hmm.
cannot see them, like we cannot see the small details in movies. But yeah, that was just an observation.
I didn't feel like it was moving too fast because I think that Rudy was so into Camilla's character because he was able to focus better with her, so therefore to me he wanted to be around her more often, and then he started comparing her to his last relationship, and that created like a faster pace to their relationship because he got attached to her like more in a more fast way.
Mm.
But yeah,
I want to talk about Jago, the puppet.
yeah.
I love him so much. So genius,
Mhm.
so incredible. And like the first the first song in the metro, this is a song about Starbucks. It's expensive. And then it ends and it's I don't know, the effortless character, like the effortless
Mhm.
personality of the character was so genuine and funny and I just love him and it's such a new fun way to have the character think out
Mhm.
loud that it just made it very I don't know. I don't have any other I love this movie so much.
Me
Yeah.
too. And go watch it.
Yes.
You won't regret it. It's a perfect movie. I'm not usually able to focus on movies when I watch them at home. It's really hard for me to watch anything at home, besides Grey's Anatomy, of course. But I did lose track of time when I watched Musica, and I did enjoy it so much. And I watched it at the right time. I took
Yeah.
a break from Grey's Anatomy at the right time. If you've watched season 11, you know what I'm talking about.
I haven't. I'm not there yet. It's
Yeah,
taking
you're
me
still
time.
far away
I'm
from
very far.
there.
I'm at season 2.
Lucky you.
So yeah, that's it about Musica. I'm so looking forward to Rudy's next movies.
Me too.
I really want to watch him like express his creativity in new ways, and I want to see more movies like that. I want to see more experimental
Hmm.
movies like this, movies that take risks, not in a like in a creative way, not
Hmm.
in a shocking, just not just in a
Yeah.
shocking way, because I feel like that's the difference. Like this, I'm branching out, I'm sorry, but I feel like thrillers, they try to create something
Hmm.
new and they end up going a bit too far, not always with a specific
Yeah.
message or reason in mind, just like to shock the audience. And I felt like this movie with Rudy was so inspirational and so different that I'm just hoping more movie makers are going to do
Me too.
such things. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribe. Tell us what you think in the comments below and
We'll see you guys next week.
see you next week. Bye.
Bye.